Tonight, I'm here to share with you an idea of mindset. And when I say this, this idea is called useful belief. Now, this idea of useful belief that has a lot of momentum at the moment. For some people, this first idea actually will help them deal with adversity in their life. For some people in this room, it will help them get through a random Wednesday afternoon. And yet for others, it's a call to action in your entire life. So, I suppose for me, this idea really is a simple life philosophy that opens possibility. And after all, that's what tonight is all about. Tonight is about possibility. All right, let's get into it. I am a professional speaker. And as a professional speaker, I was at a party. I was at a Christmas party. And I was there, and this guy approached me. And I think he had had a couple drinks. Because he walked up to me, and he looked at me, and he said this: "Someone just told me you were a motivational speaker. Why don't you say something right now to motivate me?" And when he said that, I was like, man, it doesn't work like that. He's like, what do? Do you stand in front of people with your American accent and you just tell people to be positive? Is that what you do? Tell people to be positive and be happy and be positive? And the guy was poking the bear, and I get that. But he was actually asking the same thing you're probably asking right now. Tonight, is there something new? Is there something new, or is this guy in his black t-shirt just gonna tell us to be positive? Well, no. Anyway, I looked at the guy and I said this: no, I'm not gonna tell you to be positive for one simple reason. That's not it. I looked at him and I said, for one simple reason: positive thinking doesn't work. What, Chris? Positive thinking doesn't work? It's a staple of modern motivation. Well, yeah, I know. But actually, when you look at it, not really, not as much as we think it may have. In fact, you know what? If you've been in a rut in your life the last 6 days, or the last 6 weeks, or the last 6 months, or if you're planning and anticipating being in a rut the next 6 days, or the next 6 weeks, or the next 6 months, it's not positive thinking that's gonna get you out of it. Instead, I teach this word: useful. Boom, useful, right? Because it's not about positive thinking. In fact, the studies show this, that when you lay in bed in the morning and go, come on, Chris, just be positive today. You can do it, you can do it. Just be positive. Then at 10 o'clock, when something bad happens, you are unable to sustain your level of positivity. You actually feel worse about yourself than before you started. I can't even do positive well. So there it is. Instead, I teach useful. And if for right now you're at 0 for whatever reason, you're at 0, to get from 0 to 2, it's not positive thinking, it's this word: useful. Boom. To get from 2 to 5, let me ask you, what are the most useful actions for you to take? To get from 5 to 8, what are the most useful beliefs for you to have? All right, well, let's make useful belief come alive a little bit. Let me ask a question. How many people in this room have children, just out of curiosity? Who have lots of TED Talk children? Who here's ever been a part of this conversation? I can't believe kids today. I can't believe these kids today with their stupid iPhones and computer games. When I was a kid, I was a real kid. We were outside. We had a bike and a bat and a ball. We waited for Mama to come outside and tell us it was time for dinner, because that's where we were, because we were outside kids. Has anyone here ever been a part of that conversation? There it is right there. Well, you know what? Every now and again, people ask me the question. They say, Chris, what do you think about kids today? And I say, well, this. Well, I have 3 teenage boys, and my boys are 18, 16, and 13. And, they're my 3 favorite people on the planet. And what do I think about kids today? You know what? I think this is the greatest time in the history of the world to be a kid. I think it's the greatest time in the history of the world to be a dad. I think it is the most phenomenal time in the history of the world to be a parent. Question: is that true or not? That's a definite no there, no, right? Yes, I don't know. You know what? I don't know if it's true or not. Actually, truth, a little bit overrated, truth. You were taught a lot of things in your life that were supposedly true. Some of them didn't turn out to be true at all. Actually, some of them were a little bit silly. And when I say this, I don't know if it's true or not, but I know this: it's useful. Because when I believe it's the best time in the history of the world to be a parent, an amazing thing happens. I'm a better dad. I'm actually dialed into the year 2019. I'm not focused on the Def Leppard concert that I went to in 1989. I'm actually thinking about what's going on now. This is the best time in the history of the world to be alive. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know this: when I believe it, I walk outside and I find beautiful things in the world. I see a tree and a flower and a puppy and a baby. And I find beautiful things everywhere. Well, you know what? Why does this happen? Well, let's talk a little bit about your brain just quickly. The most important part of your brain when it comes to your success is called the reticular activating system. And the reticular activating system, in simple terms, is the filter that shows you what you see. I mean, let me ask, how many people in this room drove in tonight? Who drove in tonight? Lots of people drove in. And let me ask the question, how many times when you drove in tonight did you see a red Toyota on the road? Answer, 0. Because you were not looking for red Toyotas. However, if you decided to buy a red Toyota right now on the way home, what would you see everywhere? Boom. Red Toyotas everywhere. Why? Because your reticular activating system, the filter that filters the millions of pieces of information you see every day is now dialed into red Toyotas. Your red Toyota theory, when you believe it's the best time in the history of the world to be alive. It's amazing. You find beautiful things. But that's not a lot of people. A lot of people believe in tough times. They don't have a useful belief. They believe in tough times. These are some tough times, getting tougher. You know Toxic Boy, he works at your office? You know Toxic Boy. There's Toxic Boy walking around. He's going, do you think this year's tough? You wait, next year's gonna be tougher. Armageddon, blood in the streets, it's gonna be tough times. Now, just quickly, by the way, if you are going to believe in tough times, I want to make a couple recommendations for you. I mean, first of all, I'll give you the good news. You will have a lot of friends. Misery does, in fact, love company, so that's good. You'll have minimal success, but plenty of friends. And, just a couple of pieces of advice on tough